Hey everyone, Soundwave884 here in the Transformers review. And this week we take a look at Origin Autobot Jazz from the Buzzworthy Bumblebee line. This line is exclusive to Targets here in the US of A, but it is still part of the Legacy Evolution branding. Turn this side here, you get some nice jazz artwork. Turn to the side, you get your Bumblebee Buzzworthy stuff on this side. Turn to the back, your EVO Fusions. You're combining the grappling hook with his rifle. He looks like the G1 model in the G1 cartoon in the first episode when he's in his Cybertronian vehicle form. 20 steps will get you all the way around. And with this guy, I think you'll be pleasantly pleased with this figure when you compare it to the Studio Series 86, or just as a figure itself. Now, he comes packaged slightly differently. He actually comes in this honeycomb cardboard. He has this wedged in here, the chest through here, his legs through here, and you open it up, see where his accessories were kept by tape in this paper, and then his feet and backpack go through here. So he's not actually held on by any strings, any rubber bands, any kind of twist ties or anything. He's just held in by the plastic itself, the cardboard itself coming around him. And here is your Jazz, and it is a beautiful figure. I really like this figure. Okay, I really love this figure. I like the Studio Series 86 Jazz because I feel like it's the ultimate G1 looking Jazz in a mainline affordable toy slash collectible. This Jazz here, I think, gives you the one-off appearance of him in Cybertronian mode, but it is still a good figure that you can actually just use on the shelf as your G1 Jazz bot mode, and use the Studio Series 86 as the G1 alt mode. This figure it feels of higher quality than the Studio Series 86 Jazz, and I'll get to the reasons why in a minute. Now, when I saw this figure, there's only one on the peg at Target. I do have him pre-ordered through two other places, Hasbro Pulse and Target.com. And I'll get one in, because this one does have a few QC issues. Nothing major like joints or anything. Just a few paint flaws on the actual figure. And I can see this in the packaging, but I got it anyway because he was the last one. My camera doesn't want to focus. But you can see right here on the chest is this white paint here is just chipped off. This whole chest piece here is this blue translucent plastic. It's just painted. I can bring this down so you can see it on the inside. It's just painted over with this white. Now, it's the fake chest. It has nothing to do in his vehicle mode, because vehicle mode is going to be the front of the car here, because you don't even see this there. But it was a bummer. I saw that, but there's only one. I was going to get it anyway, because I am pre-ordered. Also, on his head sculpt here, underneath his visor, you can see these little lines on either side, and that kind of bothers me. There's one there and one there. And he's got a few issues in alt mode. Let's see if I can pick it out here. There's blue paint going over right here. And I think it might be somewhere else, but I might have to see it when he's actually in alt mode. So those are the only QC. There's nothing like game changing, nothing that's going to ruin the figure for me. That is sort of an eyesore in robot modes. I'm hoping one of the ones I got pre-ordered comes in looking nice and grand in robot mode, so I can just leave this one in vehicle mode. At his accessories, it comes with his rifle here, which is very similar to the one that the Studio Series 86 has, but it is still different. It's a little bit more slender. It only has these pegs on one side, so he's got the pegs here on both sides, so it only has it on one side, so it is slightly changed. And you get his grappling hook that he used in the first three-parter. I think he might use it again later in the series as well. And to use this right here, it's got the peg. You just take either hand. It's on both. You just fold it in, and there is a peg hole. And you just pick that right in. He's like, catch! And shoots that off. Now, I have reviewed a Matrix workshop upgrade kit that has a grappling hook with an actual string that you can make go out and roll it back up. It will go in the hand still, just fits into the actual handhold, doesn't peg in this way. Now, to do his EVO Fusion, you'll take the tip of this off. And you see it comes in two pieces here, so they are very small. If you drop it, try not to lose it. So that can't happen. This just fits right over the tip, just the tip. And then we just stick it in. So now he can be firing his grappling hook off of his rifle, if you want to do it that way. And also, the blaster rifle is blast effect compatible. You just got to shove it right over the tip as well. So boom, boom. Alright, comparison time. Let's take a comparison here with the Studio Series 86 Jazz. Now, the Studio Series 86 Jazz is slightly taller. It's very minimal. It's like maybe a millimeter. It's so small. You can just notice it in person. It's there, but it's not that grand. And they're pretty much about eye to eye when they look at each other. It's slightly taller, not much at all. The blues are different. These are more baby blues on the Studio Series 86. You can really tell here in the visor. And he's got more of a deeper blue on the visor and on the little part here by the Autobot insignia. Also, there's like less white around the insignia. The eyes here are whited in, where here they are not. There's like no white at all on that. This one here has all that white around it. Otherwise, they're both nice. I just can't tell which one I like more. I think I like the blues on this one, especially the visor with this color blue, more so than the baby blue. I think give me the baby blue, but the visor of this color, and I think that would look really good. Now, the only piece of tooling I can see that they actually share is the head sculpt. It seems to be the same exact head. It's just different color on the visor and everything. But everything else is new and different. It might look the same, but it is not the same. Turn around. I mean, it's got the same kind of designs on the forearms, but they are not the same forearms. So, very nice. I like the slenderness of this guy. This guy's a bit too wide. The chest is just too wide. I like the slender chest. So maybe this guy can stay in the alt mode. I use this as my robot mode. And you probably could remove this backpack. I'm not sure. It's on a hinge back here. You have to knock the pin out through there and take this off, and then you have this black piece hanging. No, that'll be off too. And here he is next to Earthrise Wheeljack. Now, I'm figuring they're going to get a Wheeljack out of this mold somehow. They're going to retool something to make this into a Wheeljack. Just keep some of the pieces. Because these tabs, not tabs, these slots down here that do nothing for this jazz. They're not used at all. So I'm trying to figure out, you know, Wheeljack would have a bigger chest piece. Maybe this here would be tabbing underneath the head and down here if they use the same torso for Wheeljack. If they try to work a Cybertronian Wheeljack out of this mold. A closer look at the figure. I said that I got the blemish here, but all the parts seem to be new. The crotchal is new. Everything's new. It just looks similar. He doesn't have much hollowness to speak of, so I think that's going to please a lot of people. Like inside here, his thighs is solid. There actually is a screw here to hold something in place. Only hollow bits are in the inside of his arms, right here and here, and that's for transformation for the hand to fold in. And on the underside of his legs, his feet down here. And all his joints are very tight. He feels, okay, like I said, more quality. I can shake this guy around. He's not going to move around very, very freely. So he's got a lot of stiff joints, just the way she likes it. So it's a good quality figure in bot mode. It's not overly tight or overly stiff. It's just right. Side view comparison. Showing off that backpack. It's just a good jazz. Articulation on Jazz. There's no wrist swivel. It's all one piece, so that's sort of a bummer. But you get an upper bicep swivel. You get bends to there. Get your shoulders here. Spin it all the way around. Head. You get a slide up and a slide down, or better down than you do an up. And you can 360 that sucker all the way around. You do get a 360 waist swivel. You do sort of bump this back piece. You get upper thigh swivels. Tight joints here. You get knee bends there. You hit this back piece here. You get toe tap for transformation. And you get your ankle tilts to there. You can kick out to the side. You hit this here, but you can actually just move that out of the way and get your rest of your motion. Kick forward pretty far, back till there. Especially if you have move the backpack. But if you have it down, you're not going to get that kind of movement. Now you hit this here. There's these little like lines, these little like slots. There's these little grooves here. That's meant to go around that middle piece here. It comes around. So if it's more snug and goes lower in the back, but you can have it sitting up. It's on a hinge. You can move it however you see fit to keep it out of your way. But it just sort of locks in when you do it right there. But it does kind of get in the way of the hips. Alright, so let's transform Jazz into his G1 Cybertronian form. We're going to fold his hands in. You're going to come move the backpack out. Come to his head. You want to 180 it around. Take this piece here. Just tabs it right underneath the head. Use on another little hinge. You just want to bring this up to help hide the head. This sort of goes flush with the upper body here. Now you take this right here. You can put this piece back together if you have it apart. If not, just don't worry about it. Just leave it together. There's a peg hole right here. She'll peg that right in his chest. It's a good place to store. It'll be right underneath the vehicle mode. Take him at the bicep swivel. You're going to turn it in. Not his whole shoulder, just the bicep swivel. So these joints are pretty stiff here. Now you're going to take this right here and you're going to move it in and just slightly bend his arms back. Come to the backpack, take this piece here. It's all translucent blue plastic right here on this piece. This piece is not, but this piece is with the windows. Bring this back. This is the only really scary part of the transformation. There's these two clear tabs, and they're going to tap right there above that. And you got to get this to go around the sides. So you got to line that up, and then you want to push those around on the sides. The scariest part or the hardest part is when you want to put them back in remote mode and reverse that. You have to get these around. Eventually you might end up cracking this plastic, so just be careful. And you see the tab is now come free here. You bring this up on the back side on this hinge. And you're going to bring this up and over. There's a little slot inside. And you're just going to tab that scarily in there. That's a good pop, man. Did I break it? Hope not. Get on his feet, fold his feet in. And then it's sort of like Combiner Wars kind of stuff here. You're going to open this up. I think it's the outside here. Ugh, stiff. Open. Open. Damn it. Open. Open this piece up. And it hurt my finger. These tabs, they hold in really good on this figure. You open this up. And you want to fold this piece out. Do the same on the other side. Sort of move these ankles down so I can try to get in here. Okay, it locks underneath and there's a tab up here. So it's just there. Bring that out. Bring this piece up. Now you're gonna bring them back down. Lock them back into place. See, there's tabs. We're going to tab his legs together. Now, when he came in the package, legs are already tabbed together, and it is a pain in the ass to separate this for me. Push these down. And you see there's a slot here on these. There's tab here, tab here. Now, this tab here is going to catch up here. There's a tab inside here. It's going to go up here because you're going to collapse his legs. You're going to shove his thighs inside of here. So you're going to... This is probably the toughest part for me. It's just... And there's these tabs here. Translucent tabs. They're going to go right in there. And so you got to get his legs to go. Okay, now you're going to close these up. Gotta get them tabbed into his arm. And then locked into that. And this one too. Tab into his arm. Lock that in. And there you go. You have transformed Jazz into his vehicle mode. Sadly, no wheels, so he's not going to roll for you. He's just going to scoot on his forearms around. But there you go. Cybertronian Jazz, or I've seen a lot of little pictures and memes going around on Facebook and online. A vacuum cleaner. So this is the handle. That's where you suck it from. Now you take his weapon, his gun, because you already have this other one stored right here. You just put this right up top. Boom, boom. Jazz. Comparisons in alt mode. Here's Jazz next to Deluxe class crankcase, Deluxe drag strip, Studio Series 86 Ironhide, Earthrise Ironhide, Legacy Alita 1, Warrior class Earthspark Alita 1, and Deluxe class Ironhide from the Bumblebee movie. Closer look at him in vehicle mode. Silver paint is applied nicely. He's got some blue paint here. I like the blue and the translucent windows. Got the blue paint here. I can see the little QCs. Got a little, like the little line behind it there. Turn to the back side. You can probably plug in. You can plug in or peg in some blast effects if you want to do like some rocket thrusters in the back. And the other side. Not bad. Almost just like his G1 Cybertronian self. So on vehicle mode, it doesn't have wheels, and that's probably the biggest con on this whole entire figure. He has no way to actually roll, I know, and I think in the show he was hovering. So that is that, so you don't have to add wheels for that. But I think they filled in so many of the hollow gaps you usually would see on a Deluxe class figure that this is an actual win overall. It's just a nice quality feeling. He feels pretty hefty for a Deluxe figure, especially in vehicle mode, because it's all just compacted in. So let's get to my final thoughts. Alright, so my final thoughts on this figure. Pick this guy up. He's one of the best Deluxe figures Hasbro has done in a long time. Good quality feel, good joints, not much hollowness to speak of. And if you're a Jazz fan, you got to get this guy. It's a well done job by Hasbro. Till next one. Peace out.